This meeting is live stream. Did you know I get a notification that says that?
Nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
All
Got it?
right. You're in. You're in.
We
Well,
are in.
we will get this eventually.
We're good. All
All right.
righty.
Welcome to Thirsty Topics.
Hello, hello, hello.
I stole Lawrence's intro.
That
It's
is
a,
okay. That's okay. You know, I stole Whoopi Good Goldberg's intro on The View. She goes, "Hello, hello, hello."
oh, I love that. Hello.
Well, I shouldn't say stole. I borrowed it.
Borrowed. You took inspiration from. Mhm.
Are you ready for Thanksgiving?
I'm so ready. Well, so this year I'm very excited for Thanksgiving because I don't have to cook anything. So, because I had a baby 5 months ago, everybody has gone easy on me. And actually, I'm not sure if it's that they've gone easy on me or they just, this is like finally a good excuse to avoid my cooking. Could be that. Could be that as well. They're like, oh, yeah, no, it's fine. Don't bring anything. It's fine. It's fine. Just bring the baby. So either way, I have to bring nothing to Thanksgiving. Just me, the family, the baby. I may bring some like alcohol, we're staying the night though at my brother-in-law's and sister-in-law's house. So we get to hang out with the nephews all night. Like it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be
Nice.
fun. So I know you like cook up a storm though for Thanksgiving. Like what are you guys
Yeah, actually, we're going to be at home. We're making a huge spread.
doing?
My son Kenny's in town this week from college, so tomorrow he's going to spend the day with us. Right now he's with his friends doing Friendsgiving.
Oh, that's cute.
So we're going to do the turkey. Let's see, we're going to do black eyed peas, green beans, sweet potato pies, and several other different things. So
Good. All the good stuff. All the
very,
good.
very big meal, but that's okay. That's okay.
So is it just the three of you?
Hmm.
So many leftovers though. So many
Oh
leftovers.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
kind of
we're gonna probably visit some family, on Friday. Uh,
the
but yeah, on Thursday we're gonna just, eat, watch TV, talk, have a good time,
Yay, I love that.
and we'll actually have Kenny to ourselves because he's only here for a week and he's literally been busy every week with his friends. So tomorrow is our day.
I was gonna ask you like if there's any significant others coming over or anything, but it's just Kenny.
Just Kenny, yeah.
That's Kenny. All right. So this week, you've told me that it's been a wild week.
Oh yes.
The
I
news
think
follow.
I think I'm gonna start with probably the biggest thing that people have been talking about,
Let's do it. What? What?
and
What?
that is the P Diddy incidents.
Tell me. I.
Well, he's been sued by his ex-girlfriend
Okay.
for basically, beating her, forcing her to, do sex with other men, calling it a freak out,
Yeah.
all kinds of horrible stuff, which was shocking because, I like P. Diddy, you know,
Yeah.
and I think he's a very smart businessman. So I was kind of hoping it wasn't true. And then what really kind of turned it was a day or two later, because she was, I think, allegedly suing for around 30 million.
Okay.
It was settled a day or two later,
Okay.
which is almost unheard of for that kind of a.
Well, unless he gave in for that 30 million. Do you know what he settled for?
No, it's not public.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when it's not public, that means it's a big number.
And usually when they settle, that means there's something to it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff floating around. Um, Allegedly,
Mm-hmm.
I guess he is secretly being investigated. I don't know how true that is. That's why I strongly use that word allegedly. But it kind of makes you wonder because I know when it first came out, obviously, there was a statement that came out, um, that wasn't true. Um, they're going to fight vigorously in court. I'm just paraphrasing.
Mhm.
But then to make a statement and then turn around and settle a day or two later, it does kind of raise eyebrows a little bit.
I mean, like honestly, yes. Is there money to gain? Like that's what I get frustrated about with stuff like this. It's like for the woman, is there money to gain? Sure. But like you lose so much more in the public eye when you come forward. Like everybody, like you have all the people who don't believe her, and like I don't know. I mean, just anybody who doesn't believe somebody because they're suing a rich person for some sort of abuse or like sexual assault, and they just say they're just in it for the money. This isn't true. Like, I just don't believe that. And honestly, like, I think I did see a little bit about this, and I didn't really know where it was going. How old was she? Like 19, and he was in his 30s or something when they started dating?
I don't remember. I know she is younger than because P Diddy's around my age. I would say.
I mean, I wanted to say that it was a big age difference because I read a little bit about that, but I
Mhm.
just what it was, leading up to. No, I mean, I 100% believe her. Absolutely. Like, I mean, as in the big numbers, I think aren't because she wants big numbers. I think it's because she wants to hurt him. It's not she wants $30 million. It's she wants him to feel it. And if he's got deep pockets, he's gonna only feel a big number. And that's all she can get back at this point. Like she can't, you know what I mean? He's got bodyguards. It's not like she can hire a hitman. Like there's nothing else you can do when something like that happens except like go for the pockets. But
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess you would kind of think that. I mean, he's a billionaire, and so
mhm,
you would kind of think that he would financially make life very hard for her, fight this vigorously. That's what you would expect. So when you hear this settlement, and it's a quiet settlement, so
mhm,
which means, again, in my opinion, I think it was a big number for it to be quiet, and it
mhm,
just kind of went away. So
yeah.
you kind of left not knowing one way or the other.
I mean, yes, I guess that's true. That it's like he didn't want to fight it. He just wanted it to go away. He knew he had enough money, whether he did it, whether he didn't do it. I mean, no one I guess will ever know. But I just don't I just that power dynamic is so scary. Like when I think when I think of like Jay-Z and Beyonce, I'm like those two are on the same level. Like
Mhm.
like if he cheats and she stays, it's because she wanted to stay, not because if she leaves, she's broke. You
True.
know what I mean? Like that power dynamic, like that equality makes sense to me. But like when it's just like some nobody backup dancer with this billionaire, you're gonna do everything they say, and especially if you're young and impressionable, like you're gonna listen to them. You're gonna believe them. And then, as she gets older and realizes that what she went through wasn't right, then I mean that's when people start coming forward and realizing like they shouldn't have done this. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, when you're in the public eye, and this is the sad portion, is even if the allegations are totally untrue,
mhm,
the damage kind of is already done
yeah,
because people, some people are going to think in their back of their mind, you know, is there some truth to what happened? It's always going to be there.
but also like I mean, what damage? Like that's at the end of the day, like what is he really gonna lose? I mean,
True, true.
are people gonna think it? Yeah. Will they stop doing business with him? No. So that's it. It's like, oh, a few people question his morality or whether he's a good guy or whatever. But at the end of the day, he's still a powerful man who helps other people make millions of dollars. So he's not going to lose anything.
True, true.
And so, I mean, anytime a woman comes forward, my default especially with a famous man, my default is believer. I mean, just initially, like, you know,
Hmm.
investigations come out and they realize it's bull or whatever, or like, you know, like with the whole Johnny Depp thing. I was actually just thinking about this earlier. Like Johnny Depp and what's her name? Uh like they were just bad for each other. And I just think that they probably could have been um in decent partners in
Hmm.
a relationship had they not been with each other. That it was just one person triggered another person to be abusive, and that triggered that person to be abusive. That it was just their dynamic was just so bad. And I mean, this could be the same thing. That it's like, you know, maybe if she were somebody else, that person wouldn't have considered it abuse. Or, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it could just be their dynamic, or he didn't understand that it's not something she wanted. I mean, I don't really believe that, but
You know,
who knows if she seemed willing? You know, you're like, whatever, you're 19, you age of consent, you know, over the age of consent, you seem willing, you
yeah.
know, you have the
I,
right to say no,
I
technically.
think there's something to be said about not mixing business with pleasure,
Hmm.
because if someone is on your label,
Hmm.
um, and then you go into a relationship with them, there is unspoken power there.
Oh, she's on his label.
I
Oh,
believe so. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he's in the wrong, 100%. He's
You know,
100%. It's like a teacher and a student. Like that is 100%. He's in the
I
wrong.
mean, and the thing is, like some people, and again, we don't know what really happened, but what people got to understand is that it's just like if you work at a job
Hmm.
and this person gets into a relationship with a subordinate, with one of their workers,
You shouldn't. You can't.
and things don't work out. Well, that creates a very uncomfortable situation because your ex is also your boss,
Right.
controls your paycheck and
Right.
everything else. So it's like this unfair balance. Now, sometimes those kind of situations do work out, but when they go bad, they can go really, really bad.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, he was her boss. Like, if that's what it was, he was her boss. She couldn't say no. Like, okay, then you're fired. You're off the label. We're done. You want to get his head. I mean, I'm not saying that's what happened, but
Yeah.
like that's I mean, it's just he should not have went there. As a businessman, like, mm-mm, he should not have went there at all. And like that's annoying. Like, can you just stop thinking with your junk? Come on, man. Like there are all these beautiful, wonderful women out there ready to have your babies, and you gotta go for the 19-year-old that's on your label. Mm, mm-mm.
Interesting. Sad part is, or a good thing, depending on how you look at it, is we'll never know.
Yeah.
But
We might. Someone might have, you know. I mean, and you know what ends up being frustrating about this? Let me tell you. Let me tell you as a woman what is frustrating about this. When you say we'll never know, it's kind of like we'll only know if he confesses. Like we can't just think that what she said was the truth. We have to wait until he confesses and then he confirms it. You know what I mean? Like it's, you
yeah,
know, it's just it's almost like if he would have just if he's got an autobiography out there that he speaks up about something and abuse from a young age in the record or the producing, I don't know, whatever area industry, like people would be like, yeah, poor him, yeah, that's a really hard thing. But it's like we don't need his record label to say, yeah, we abused him, we took advantage of him at a young. But it's like for her, we have to have the other side corroborate it before we can say like, yeah, this really happened, we agree. Like I can feel very confident in that it happened. I just do.
yeah. I think part of the problem is too is right now we're in a very sue happy society. So people are really careful about making statements because he does have the resources to come after you. If he feels that you slandered him.
Yeah,
So people are going to be extra cautious when making statements.
sure.
And the sad part is, if this really did happen, it's really much more sad for her because, like you said, it's like okay, I told you my truth of what happened. Now you got to make me prove it to you that it's real, which is
Well,
not fair, you
well, and
know?
that's the thing that I've always that I mean I've seen around, and I actually don't know how true it is, but I've known that I've heard it before. That in other like types of crimes, they are they are considered victims automatically, but it's always an alleged rape. It's, you know what I mean? There was
Mhm.
theft, there was a murder, there was,
Yeah.
you know, but it's always an alleged rape. And it's it, like if she's saying that's what it is, then call it that. Like, what do we get to ask him? Be like, was this rape, sir? You know what I mean? Like that,
Hmm.
like she is the person who decides whether or not it was rape. And
Hmm.
then that, I mean, that, and you have to investigate it as though it was something she didn't want. And then if, I mean, if things come out that, that maybe it wasn't as, I don't want to say as bad because I've never known it not to be. I've never known it not to be. Like I've never known a woman to say I was raped and then like come to find out I was just mad at him. Never. And like that's
Yeah.
what I think happened. Like they want to think she's just after my money. She's just mad at me because we broke up and then I used her, for one night. No, like it's that's never happened. It's always been I was raped, I was sexually assaulted. This is what happened. Yeah, I was drunk, but like I knew I said no. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like so I believe her. I believe her no matter who it is. My default is believe her. Like
Hmm.
whoever. Like they could be accusing my brother. Like truly, like that's how deep it goes. They could be accusing my brother, and I would believe them. So
I definitely hear you. Definitely hear you.
let's get on a happier topic. I am worked up and pissed off now. I don't know if you see my face getting red. I am like ready to fight somebody.
All right.
Oh
Well, give us something a little bit lighter to talk about.
God. Well, oh my God. Okay, this. And I don't know if this affects you. It does affect me a little bit. The SAG strike is over.
Yes, it is.
Over. Thank you, Miss Fran Drescher. Oh my God. Ugh. All right. So, as far as the strike, did you know any details, any like benefits, any like what has come of this, what they were fighting against? Do you know any of like the nitty gritty or a little bit about it?
I know some of it was money, and there were other things too, as far as working conditions. But from what I have been told, the main sticking point was basically AI. AI
Uh,
came up quite a bit,
which
and that was the heaviest issue they had to work through was the AI portion of it.
like what more do you need to hear besides don't steal my face? That's it. I own this. You
Yep.
cannot own this.
And what people got to understand is now I'm not SAG, but we know people who are SAG, and
Yes.
one thing that they have to understand is using your face and likeness is intellectual property. So,
Mm-hmm.
which means that if you allow, in my opinion, a studio or production company to go ahead and use your likeness in the AI for a movie, commercial, whatever, then the lines become blurred on who owns that intellectual property. Because they're like, well, technically it's not you, it's a reminiscent or whatever, but you're playing along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people think that all actors make millions and millions of dollars. The sad reality is that's literally a small piece of the actors out there.
Yeah.
Most actors and actresses, they struggle trying
Yes,
to make their craft. So, and even if you think about people like Whoopi Goldberg and other people that's really made it took them years to get where they're at. It didn't happen overnight.
yeah.
And people got to understand that.
Well, and you just imagine, like, I mean, I just wouldn't want anything that this computer robot did to ever be attributed to me. Like, that's the thing. Like, if that bad robot has a bad acting performance, they say Kristen Willinga is a bad actor. So what the people in theater hear is Kristen Willinga is a bad actor and I can't get a job because some AI version of me is bad on camera. And so, I mean, there's just so many things. Or again, like certain, like, explicit sex scene. Like me as an actor, like I'm comfortable up to a line and like, and I won't go farther than that. Or if I, if I do, it's got to be really like tasteful. I got my, and my husband has his opinions.
Sure.
But, and so, I mean, just using my face, even on someone else's body would just, be a violation. Like, I don't want people thinking I did this. I don't want people thinking I'm the type, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with actors that do it. And honestly, like I said, I'm not saying that later in life, I wouldn't be like willing to be like, I'm 90. Let's go all out. Let's go the world.
But the scary part about it, Kristen, is I really didn't pay attention until I saw some stories on, scams or whatever, love scams. And, they showed these video of women that were 100% AI.
Yes.
And to me, it scared the hell out of me because they look real. That's what's scary about it. You unless you really look at certain things and know what you're looking for, you literally could not tell that was an AI generated video or picture. That's what's scary.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's the thing. And there's even those scams that are out there that like will call and it's your daughter's voice saying, Mom, send me this money, like send money to this account. They're going to kill me, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, you as a parent, I mean, I think now people who are somewhat more in the know might question it, but at the same time, like that immediately raises your awareness and your your emotions take over and you're not thinking, ask them a question that only they would know. You're not thinking, what street did we used to live on? Like a confirmation, you're just like, oh my God, what, and you panic.
It could be something as simple as, because I know one person, someone tried to pull that same scam with, but it was the way they were talking on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And he just knew instantly this was not his child.
Talk like this, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because your children talk a certain way and you wouldn't know it better than anyone would.
Yeah.
And when you hear certain things they say, it's like, wait a minute, so-and-so wouldn't say this.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And then you catch on like, yeah, okay, whatever. This is a scam.
But I mean, if you're elderly or, I mean, if you're 85 and your 40-year-old daughter is calling you for money, 40-year-old, is calling you for money because, some scammers found her voice on a Facebook video. Like, I mean, that's where they can get it anywhere. That's just so scary.
And I think the thing is that people overlook too is anytime you hear the word buy gift card, it's automatically a scam.
Oh yeah. Anything I get for free is a scam. Come on.
Yeah. Buy me this $500 gift card that'll get me out of jail.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So on the other side of this though, so I don't want to just linger on like the crap parts of AI because there are a lot of them. I do like some Chat GPT though. I have been diving into that and that's way fun. But also with this SAG thing, one of the best things that have come out of it, and it's helped industry wide, and that's one thing that I do feel bad about not being a part of the union, is that I mean, high tides raise all ships. Like I benefit from the general industry improving.
Oh, sure, definitely.
So there's now a part of it that you cannot charge an actor. I don't know if you even know that they did this. You cannot charge an actor to submit for a role. And that used to be a thing.
Really?
Did you know that was a thing?
No, I did not. I saw it before, but I thought it was a scam, to be honest with you.
No. So what it is like you as an actor can subscribe to certain websites, but there are so many out there. I mean, there's like Backstage, there's Actors Access, there's casting. Now it's like, I mean, you could go broke trying to subscribe to every one of them. But so if you don't subscribe to them, if there is a job posted on there, you are charged to apply for it.
You know what? I take that back. There is a professional actor site that does do that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're right. They'll let you see up to so much to a point until you subscribe, and then they open up everything and then allow you to submit for it. I've seen that.
Yes, but I mean, in even there, so now they made it the contract has made it that yes, to have a profile on their website, you have to subscribe to, to have all your pictures and reels and stuff like that up. You have to subscribe, but you can submit on these websites without having to pay $20.
That's
Because
good.
it's steep. It was not $5. Like it was steep. And like there were things that I was like, do I even want to try for this? Is it worth am I throwing $20 away? But it was like a big enough show or a big enough production that I was like, okay, no, I'll try. I'll go for this. But yeah, you're just, I mean, and it's wrong. I mean, really, at the end of the day, you're not getting the full spectrum of actors you could be getting by gatekeeping with money. And as we all know, the actors don't have money.
That's true. And the sad part is that, some people may say, well, it's 15, $20. Well, understand, in order to get one role, you have to apply to several roles just to land one.
Yes. I mean, I would say, and it just varies by time frame. Yeah. I probably get 3% of the roles that I apply for.
That's about right.
Honestly, yeah. And I mean that, and then I only probably get the opportunity to actually audition for maybe like 12 to 15%, maybe. Like they don't like my look, I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm too tall, I'm too brunette, I'm too whatever. So
it's a numbers game.
Yeah, so you just have to maximize your and so it's like you subscribe to these and again, it's like, yes, if you subscribe to their website, they're all free. But then it's like, well, I subscribe to this website, and they both have pretty much the same listing, except for this one has one that this one doesn't have a little bit. Like you have, like, it's like, if I want to go for like 3 websites, that's probably at least $600 a year.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just subscribe. Like but so this contract saying you cannot charge any longer for submissions is amazing. Absolutely. I mean, it's like, I'm sure there's going to be a huge influx of people. Like that's the thing. There's going to be a huge influx of people applying. But then I think the people who don't love it, who don't love the process, love the challenge, love the just all of it, are gonna be rough. And that's just what happens. So I mean, yeah, a huge number are gonna be like, oh, I'm an actor now, I'm an actor too, I'm an actor too. And in like 6 months after you've gotten no roles, you're gonna be like, that's not, I thought this would go differently. And you'll stop. So, I mean, I really think in the long run, this is so good for literally everybody.
I agree. And it puts everyone on the same playing field.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Or at least closer to the same playing field, because, there are still things that like people can tell, like how you submit your auditions, what, background you use, whether you do your hair and makeup, whether or not you have your lines memorized. I mean, there are things that definitely, like, training wise, certain people might know versus other people, but at least, again, it's like financials are not the problem anymore.
Yep.
Which is great.
There's always that diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think it's going to open up the opportunity to a lot of people. And I think it's going to help the industry overall because, a lot of productions are going to find out like, wow, I didn't know this person was out there. This person's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even just even to hire them for other things as extras, as supporting, as, just to help get people's foot in the door. It's great. It's great. People who just want to be an extra.
Hmm.
That's all I want. I just want to play around. I just want to be on set. I don't want to be taken seriously. I just want to come in, get my wardrobe, stand around the table, act like I'm drinking whatever, like that's all they want to do. And it's like you don't have to pay $20 to audition to be an extra. Like that's horse shit. Anyways, so that is my good news of the week.
There you go. That is definitely something to celebrate.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, I want to talk about Thanksgiving.
Oh yes, let's do that.
Of course, when you're at the dinner table, everyone knows that, you pretty much want to stay away from politics and religion. Those have always been the two hottest subjects. But
Mm-hmm.
what I want to find out is what other things should you not talk at the dinner table?
Oh, that's so good. Okay, so you said politics and religion, right?
Hmm.
Um, medical procedures.
That's
I do
true.
not. I do not need to know how they reconnected your ACL. You know what I mean?
Or they
Not.
go, yeah, I was real sick. Let me tell you about the stuff that came up out of me.
Yes, but the stomach flu I had, I was so sick. I was blowing green out of my nose. What? No, I
And
don't.
relatives are much more open than, let's say, a friend would be about what goes on.
Are so messy. They'll say anything. They will say anything just to let you into their lives. So yeah, so definitely medical procedures, illnesses, any doctor, even dental. Like unless you have like new dentures, maybe we can go with that, or a new hearing aid or new glasses. But like
I kind of disagree about the dentures because, to me, it's not appealing. I got this plate, I'm getting ready to get in. And then all of a sudden, Uncle Joe goes, yeah, I got me some new dentures. Yeah, they look nice. Hold on, let me show it to you. There you go.
yeah, right. Like it can go bad real fast. It can go bad real fast. Sure. Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah, that was a maybe. But okay, no denture, nothing dental, nothing medical, no illnesses, no doctor visits. Again, maybe a hearing aid, maybe new glasses, but that's it. Um, I would say the second thing is I know this might actually be more like a controversial type thing to say, but just because I've come into like realize that the conversation turned awkward really quickly. So I'm saying it. So obviously, like anything sexual in nature, like we don't want to say, but that goes into fertility and in right. Like, and I know that's also kind of medical. And like that's the thing, like it turns awkward so like Jason had to bring his warm semen to the hospital. Like, no, no, it looks too much like no gravy. No, I don't need that. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know what
But
I mean?
but but it even gets even worse because let's say you're at the dinner table and you and your husband are trying to start a family and you're having problems. So
Yeah,
obviously you're not talking about it. And then someone's like, hey, when are you guys are gonna have a baby? You try and play it off like, well, we'll get to that some other time. Well, no,
yeah.
I don't understand. You're young, you're vibrant, you guys got good jobs. What's the problem? Why, and they just won't let go.
Yes. I mean, and I feel like across the board, that's something like people's life choices in general should never be up for discussion, especially kids. But I think that goes into it also. And again, like the fertility thing, that kind of is part of medical, but also again, like, yeah, I was at peak fertility, so we had sex 7 times that day. Like that's how it gets awkward. That's how it gets awkward real fast.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Then of course, you don't want him to go, yeah, we was at the fertility clinic and man, I filled that little tube up real good. We got a lot of little
yeah, we're gonna get 3 or 4 kids out of that. Yeah, right. Yeah,
and, and the sad part is family don't care. That's the part that's scary.
guarantee you there's someone at that table that freaking cares.
True.
There's someone at that table that's like, I don't even know that. I don't even know that. Guaranteed. But no, you're totally right. And I mean, it's as far as just asking or hounding people, like, when are you having kids? You have a good job, blah, blah, blah. Like, because eventually you're forced to say, like, I don't want kids. And nah. Or you have to say, no, we're really struggling, but thanks for bringing it up, bitch. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
that's it, because you don't feel good about it. When you're struggling, you don't want to think about it. You are just trying to have a kid.
Oh
And
yeah, and it could, and even that conversation could go left because let's say, as a couple, you decide you don't want to have kids, which is their right.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
of course, there's Uncle Joe at the end, had him a few little drinks, little sips here and there. What you
Mm-hmm.
mean you don't want no kids? What's wrong with y'all?
It's long as
And
yeah.
you can feel the tension start to rise a little bit. Uncle Joe,
Yeah.
leave them alone. Leave them kids alone. No, we family. We're gonna talk about this.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, let me talk about this. But no, yeah, exactly. I know. And then all of a sudden it's everybody's business. Whether or not, and it's like, no, I don't, let my inheritance go to the ASPCA. I don't need to leave my shit kid. Let me leave my stuff to an organization. I don't leave it to my nephews. Like, I don't, mm-mm. No. So I mean, those are I think my two biggest is like any child rearing sort of things and medical. Like, what are your thoughts? Do you have any other ones that you think maybe we should stay away from?
I would say probably a good one would be leave the family drama at the door.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because sometimes people want to be like, okay, we got the family around. Let's air this out. No, no, let's not do that.
Let's air this out.
Yeah.
I got it. The let's air this out. It's like, yeah, don't air it out.
Because it's like whatever drama, nobody else in the family wants to be involved in that. Then you
Oh,
got this awkward scene because now you got family members fighting each other, they're cursing each other out, and it's like you're thinking to yourself as you sit there and watch this, like, why the hell did I come to this thing?
what?
I knew I should.
I brought my good dish. Yeah, shouldn't have been here. Yeah, no, I mean, yes, the family drama. I get that though. Let's air this out now. Like, that's the thing. Well, and I think the people that initiate the let's air this out now are the people that think that the family's going to side with them.
True,
And
true.
they're just like, well, let's get grandma and grandpa's opinion on this. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, grandma, they don't give a shit. Let me tell you, grandma and grandpa don't give a shit whether or not you let my boyfriend come to your wedding or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it always ends up being so silly and petty, but no, I agree with that. However, I did hear recently, just a really good thing to say if like somebody does have a comment to you that feels uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
or you can tell they're starting some like drama or something.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if let's say my aunt is like, I mean, this is my politics. Well, when Trump wins in next year, on 2024, I mean, that's the election he should have won. You guys stole the other one. When they get, and that we weren't talking about that. That's out of nowhere. Where are we? Why are we talking about Trump and politics and stealing elections? You just look at them and you go, what an interesting thing to say to me. What a weird thing to say to me. Like, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're not doing this. You know what I mean? Like,
Ooh,
just
I like that response there.
what an interesting thing to say to me. And it just, the subtext is like, what the are you doing? That's the subtext. Is just what? Like, I had an uncle at one point. We went on and on about abortion, on and on about abortion's wrong, abortion, and it's just like, I'm not getting an abortion. And this was when before I was pregnant. So it was like, I'm not getting an abortion. I'm not pregnant. I don't, this has nothing to do. What, and it would have been the good thing to say. What a weird thing to say to me. Like, but truly, what a weird thing. It has nothing to do with me. Like, why are you bringing up abortion issues?
Yes.
to me.
Mm-hmm.
But that is just, I just think it really takes the air out of their tires when you're just like, what a weird thing. Where did you expect this conversation to go?
See, I've never had anyone say anything weird, but I'm gonna remember that because that's a great response.
What a weird thing to say to me.
And they
Yeah.
won't see that one coming either.
No, well, because it's just like, it's instead of calling out or getting argumentative about the comment, you're getting argumentative about their behavior.
True.
Yeah, that's what's golden about it. It's not, because I've definitely had family things where, you just, some people will just say things to get the conversation going and get everybody riled up. And then at the end, you're like, oh my God, why did I come? Why? Let me just go like down a bottle of wine out in the yard and I'll come
Mm-hmm.
back a happier, better person. Um, so yeah, but just that letting the air out of the tires of the what a weird thing to bring up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You say to me. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. That's actually a really good one. I definitely got to remember that.
So since we are on the topics of oh, you know what? I need to talk about something else. I was gonna continue with Thanksgiving, but I need to talk some more shit.
Uh-oh.
I am not gonna watch it. Oprah.
Mm-hmm.
Oprah. Oprah. Um, her new favorite things came out recently. Regardless of what they are or what you've seen of them, I just want to know, how relevant are they at this point to you now versus ever, or just in general? How relevant is Oprah and her favorite things?
I think for her diehard fans, they're gonna always be relevant.
Yeah.
Um, I think to the average person, it all depends on what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, for me, if you're not really suggesting anything that I would normally use, it really doesn't matter. So I guess it depends on the audience that you're pitching it to.
I mean, there was just a few things. I mean, having the own network versus being on like the big TV networks, I think really took her out of the public eye in a big way. So I
Mhm.
mean, I think just in general she is less relevant just because you have to tune in to see Oprah. And I'm not saying I don't like her, because a lot of times she spits some like manifestation wisdom that I'm like, oh dang girl, like yes,
Mhm.
yes. Or I see an interview and I'm like,
Mhm.
you're asking the questions I would ask. But when it comes to the favorite thing, I'm like, how old is she now? How old is Oprah?
You know what? Honestly, I think, and I could be wrong, but I want to say Oprah's got to be knocking. She's got to be north of 65, I would think, because
Let's
Oprah's been on TV a long time.
69 years old.
I knew she was getting up there. Yeah, that's
And,
about right.
and I guess my thought, like, so I did look through her list of like favorite things.
Hmm.
Um, and I guess I haven't really like studied her previous favorite things or anything, but
Hmm.
they're straight up an old lady's Christmas list. Like good slippers, good candles, um,
Hmm.
Tory Burch rain loafers.
Hmm.
No, I'm sorry. Did you get that? Rain loafers, not rain. No. This is a more casual rain. We need a rain loafer. What are you doing? There's an apron, a denim waist apron for cooking or grilling, but it's denim. Like it's denim. Oh, and a sun hat. SPF like sun. Like I'm like, this is reading my grandma's Christmas list. Like this is not for the average human. There's candles and jellies. There were preferred jams on there.
Yeah, but the sad part is that, like I said, her diehard fans that follow her will buy it just because Oprah's name on there.
Yeah.
But you really got to be more inclusive. because you're cutting out a huge, huge section of the population by doing that. You
Like
know.
if Oprah would tell me what is her favorite song, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
What is her like? Let's cater to everybody because Oprah's got to smoke weed. She has to. She's too zen. She's too relaxed. Too freaking cool to not smoke weed. But you know what I mean? What's your favorite? Like, let's get real with people. Like, these are just some very weird, high end. I think this is what people want of me, you know. And like, I just, give me something for the younger generation. Give something that maybe I could actually give my sister-in-law. She's like, if I give her a subscription for Jam, she's gonna be like, what? Why? Why though? And I'd be like, but try the apricot. You know, like it just
Or she may go, so what the fuck you trying to tell me here? You trying to be funny or something? Because family is very blunt. You know what I mean?
yeah, you think I like Jam? Yeah. Like tell me like what wine subscription to subscribe to. You know what I mean? Like tell me your favorite car floor mats. Like give
You know,
me
that's just as bad as giving someone a gym membership for Christmas. Oh my God.
you know what? I
Unless
accidentally
unless they ask for it, that's different.
I did that by accident.
Uh-oh.
I did by accident. It wasn't for Christmas, but it was when me and my husband were getting married, and I like wanted
Mhm.
to get in shape for the wedding, and he had talked about getting in shape a little bit. So I went and got a gym membership, and they were like, "Hey, sign up, you know, yourself. You get a half off another membership." And I was like, "Yes, I will get this for my fiance. Perfect." And he was like, "What are you trying to tell me?" And I was like, "No,
He's
I
looking like, really, Kristen? So okay, all right.
didn't mean it. It was half off." Yeah. I know he didn't use it. He didn't use it once. I think out of spite, honestly. Like I feel like it was just like he's not using it because I suggested it because I bought it. He was like you. He was yeah. I was actually surprised with that reaction just because like that's not where my mind was. I wasn't
Right.
like you're fat. You need a gym member. Like it definitely was like oh a half off. I'm getting one. Let's do it. Mm-mm. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I mean, that was like 6 years ago. We're happily married still, so it's fine. But
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I still remember it.
That was a
Not
great conversation.
not a good day.
Well, as long as it doesn't bring it up later. Yeah, I remember when you bought me that membership.
He hasn't. He hasn't. No, I'm the only one that brings it up. I'm the only one that's like, do you remember 2019? When you said like I'm the only one. So yeah, he was good. He was good about it. He probably didn't even remember.
Oh, that was good. I would like to ask you, and this has been on my mind because of the Travis Kelsey thing, and why are people, in your opinion, so interested in the life of celebrities? It could be something as silly as, you know, Taylor Swift going to watch the game and he's sitting next to Kelsey's parents. Ooh,
Mhm.
and it's like, okay, how about put the camera back on the field?
I mean, if I'm being really honest, I think um as a society in general, but I know for women, we are starved for role models. And we are honestly just clinging to anybody that's got a life that we think could we would love to have.
Mhm.
You know, there I mean, because that's all that celebrities are. There are no
True.
you know there you don't get to peek inside the life of you know Jessica, HR manager, who always seems like she's got it put together. You know, we're so starved for role models, for people to look up to aspire to be like that. It's like, well, the people that let us in are the ones that will follow and emulate. So, I mean, I really think that so much of it is that that's who we want to be like, and we don't have anybody. we don't have anybody else. And I think so much of that comes from the fact that like our generations are so divided
Yeah.
that Gen Xers think millennials are silly and you know um childish and technologically driven, and then uh millennials feel that Gen Z is just doesn't give a shit about nothing, and everybody hates the boomers, like, I mean, I think we're just so divided that there's nobody really to look up to, so we just look to the only sort of guidance that we have. And I mean, I don't think that was initially it. I mean, I think initially it was just kind of the jealousy, the keeping up with the Joneses, the
Mhm.
you have a $4,000 dress, I want a $4,000 dress. But I think it's really turned into like, I want my life to look like yours, because I don't know what my life as a 27-year-old secretary should look like. I don't know what happiness should look like. I don't know what my closet should look like. I don't know what my hair should look like. And so you just turn to anybody who lets you in to their life. Like, I think it's deep. Like, I don't think it's a shallow like answer. Like, I really think it's a deep starving for a role model, honestly.
I think it's also dangerous because, there's all kinds of reality TVs on every network. Some
Mm-hmm.
of them are positive, and some of them, they have the drama of always fighting.
Mm-hmm.
They're always, trying to sleep with somebody's man, or, this guy wants to be the playboy, or he's in the streets, doing this and that. And a lot of that stuff is not real. And people see this and think that this is real. This is real life. And it's like, no, it's not real life. You know,
Right.
if you were someone and y'all yelling and screaming day in, day out every single day, maybe y'all should rethink your relationship. That's not normal, you
Yeah.
know?
Yes. I mean, and I 100% agree with that. Like, it's not really a healthy way. It's that the people in our lives, or the people that people have, kids or anybody has tried to look up to, we're all disconnected.
Hmm.
And only people that we have connections to peeks into their real life. Like, I haven't seen my mom, like, this is silly. I haven't seen my mom in her robe in 25 years.
Hmm.
I've seen Kim Kardashian in her robe more recently than I've seen my own mom in her
Oh,
robe.
oh, I believe that.
You
Hmm.
know what I mean? And so it's just like the people we have access to are the people that we look up to. And what perfume are you wearing? Oh, that you're classy. I want a classy perfume. I'll get the perfume that you're buying because you're classy. Like, you do this with your makeup every day. I'll do that with my makeup every day. Like, you have these type of tires on your car. I mean, it goes deep. Like, it's just like, what do you think is best? Well, you have so much money. If you've chosen that, then that means that must be the best. I mean, it's just it's a disconnection from each other, I think. And the only connection you feel are people who let you in. And I think so much of it is like just the connections that we're seeking um aren't aren't really sustainable, aren't really real. Like, if I were to look at people I graduated high school with on Facebook, what I see of them isn't real. I don't see any of them in their robes. So it's just like, again, tuning in to the thing that feels accessible is somehow feels more real.
Oh, yeah. And I think I remember, do you remember a few years back, the slap incident between Will Smith
Of
and Chris
course.
Rock?
Yes. Yes.
And I remember Ice, let me see, Ice T he was on The View. And, there were, of course, it just happened. So everybody's talking about it. And he said, let me tell you, that's not real and that's not how you handle stuff. He's like, I went through a lot to get to where I'm at. He's even got real close friends that have life in prison.
Yeah.
And the only reason he's not there is because he wanted to change his life and started making different decisions. Because he's like, I could have been there right now. And he's like, if I were to take this glass right here, and I just throw it across the room, hit someone or whatever, guess what? My career could end just like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's reality. And I love the way that he phrases. You have to understand what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
Because literally your life can change in a matter of seconds.
I mean, and I think with Will Smith, I mean, I don't feel bad for him. Let's start there. I was gonna say I feel bad for him. I don't feel bad, but I think his relationship was in such a weird place.
Yeah.
Was in so much weird turmoil that I don't think if he would have insulted even like Willow or Jaden, I don't think he would have reacted that way. He would have been like, yeah, that's my kids, you mother, you know. But I mean, I think it was because his marriage was in such a bad place that he almost he did. I don't think he knew what the right reaction should be. You know, that it's just everything. I mean, we've talked about this before. She's just done some such like crazy and disrespectful stuff. However, I mean, previously I had heard they had a weird like marriage anyways. So who knows how crazy it is compared to what their relationship status, like relationship norm was anyways. But I just think he didn't know what to do. And I mean, he went for the big move. And but again, yeah, it's not reality. Like your boss says that about your coworker, your subordinate, like literally anybody in your professional life insults your wife, like you go and smack them, you are fired. And that travels around your industry real fast. That you are a hothead and you do this. And literally you have to be so good at your job that people are willing to look past it.
Yeah. But in reality, there's a few things. One, for most men, their boss would never cross that line because as men, we're protective of our family.
And everybody knows.
And most people are like, okay, if I'm going to risk getting fired or whatever, yeah, I'm going to make this worth my while if I'm going to put my hands on you. It's going to be worth my while if I do that. So it's like most times that incident won't happen. And you're right. You put your hands on someone at work, reality is you leave it in handcuffs. That's just reality.
You're done.
Will Smith is such a big star that, yeah, he overcame that and he can overcome it because of who he is. The average person cannot get away with that. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Even especially if it's like the job of your dreams. Like that's your dream job and your coworker goes up and accepts a weird award and says something about how he's enjoying himself because your wife's dress is so short. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, go and again, if you're taking a page out of Will Smith's book, like you're gonna go up there and smack the shit out of him. And that's your dream job. That's your paying me $40,000 too much, type of job. Like that's
and sometimes it's not what you do, but how you do it. Because, I mean, obviously, if Will could look back, he would have done that totally different. But, Will could have easily just like, okay, let it slide. And then after they go to break or after the show's over, maybe grab him by the coat collar and say, you know what? You need to have a little talk.
Yeah, meet me in the parking lot. Like let's do a 50s style rumble. Yeah.
Well, maybe not in the parking lot. Too much paparazzi out there. You won't do it there.
Yeah, but I mean, like that. It's just doing something in the public in that way is, and he could have been seen. Like, I mean, the cameras panned to him as soon as like that was said. Like, he could have put his arm around her and kissed her on the cheek. And it been, you know what I mean? It been a more touching, like, I don't give a shit about what you got to say about my wife. And that,
or like I said, even if you want to talk, you want to approach him about that, I think the better thing to do is go backstage because you're a big star. You could go back there
anywhere
and be like, hey, Chris, you and I need to have a little talk. You know what I mean?
But public,
no cameras out in the back, just two men. You know what I mean?
Yes, and publicly you could be like, whatever you're talking about my wife, I love her, and put your arm around her, whatever. But then yeah, go do your stuff privately. But like making it was just bad form. Bad
Yeah.
form all around. It is
Wow.
PM my time.
Wow.
We've done it.
We had some great conversations here.
We did. I had a really good glass of champagne too.
There you go.
Hey, I learned I really feel like our thirsty conversations need to involve more drinking because let me tell you, just way more honest. Just
we need to get somebody to sponsor us.
we do. We do. And honestly, the harder the booze, the more honest the conversations are going to get. This was
That is
just,
true.
if you like, imagine if it was whiskey.
That's true.
I
Now
would,
I have noticed that even after we do our lives, people do come back and watch them because it's still out there.
oh, yeah.
So if you know if someone wants to sponsor us, hey, reach out to us. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I mean, really, these are thirsty topics. We
Hmm.
quench our thirst. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Kristen, I really enjoyed this conversation, these conversations. So,
Yeah.
alrighty,
I will
and
see
for,
you next Wednesday, same time, same place.
absolutely for everyone else, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the live here and enjoy your Thanksgiving.